Much, Mr. Chairman. Good to have all our guests, and especially good to be able to welcome Dr. Jerry Richmond, who is a longtime expert in security and also a longtime University of Oregon Duck. And we welcome you.
Go Ducks.
Let me, if I might, ask you about what we learned at DOE in the Pacific Northwest here very recently. There were abrupt and significant workforce reductions last week in the office that carries out the critical work to keep our electric grid reliable. My take is that this raises national security issues. It raises fundamental issues for our economy. What are the implications of something like that, Dr. Richmond?
Well, thank you, Senator Wyden. It's good to be here with you, too. I think that in terms of our power, our energy infrastructure, and particularly the cuts at BPA, as well as the 1,800 people that were just cut off at the Department of Energy with no clear understanding of the procedure or why, it really is going to, I believe, as a citizen, that it's going to not only compromise the safety of our grid, but also will drive up energy prices. I believe that it will delay current projects in communities and that it will disrupt our supply chains. These are, again, my personal opinions, having served as the Undersecretary for over 3 years. But I think it also is sowing confusion among and chaos among the federal workers because of what they're learning about things in the news. And I can't confirm what's in the news either, but the point is that it's just leading to a lot of confusion. But for example, with BPA, there were a number of employees that were cut. And a Pacific Northwesterner like you, that's really chilling because I know that because BPA is so important.
Let me see if I can get a couple of other questions in real quickly. When you went through the process of getting your security clearance, did you have to disclose all of your foreign financial conflicts of interest and contacts with government officials?
Yes. In fact, I have, because I've worked in so many different countries, over 24 developing countries in particular, I had to list all the countries I'd been to, whether they had paid for my travel support, which most of them did not, whether I had any kind of a conflict of interest with them, with any type of financial support from them continuing, what all my finances are with regards to all of the investments that we have. We had to declare all those. We had to be cleared for general counsel. I had to get a polygraph test.
I think I got the drift.
Okay.
If a U.S. government official had significant business dealings with the government of China or failed to disclose all of these contacts with Chinese government officials, could that derail their access to sensitive Department of Energy secrets or classified information?
Yes, and in fact, what happens in the laboratories during my time was you have both the IN and also the lab leaders talking about when there's a concern about a person being in the laboratory. And what they go through is who's going to come on site, what is their background, what kind of access would be controlled if they did come on site, and this is for visitors also, and what projects can they work on and what partnerships do they have. If there's a disagreement between those two entities in the laboratory, then it gets sent up to me. Okay. I did not have any concerning ones that came up to me. Okay. And the laboratory said this at the HSST hearing. Director said this last week.
Thank you, Dr. Richmond. Colleagues, I'm asking these questions for several reasons, and one of them is, according to public reporting, Mr. Elon Musk is running Doge while remaining Tesla's largest shareholder. And according to that public reporting, Tesla has invested billions in China and makes 1 million cars a year at a factory in Shanghai on land owned by the Chinese government. Finally, according to public reporting, Tesla's contract allows the Chinese government to revoke Tesla's lease on the land at any time if it determines doing so is in the public interest. Now, on this committee, every one of us works for the American public interest. And given that as our highest priority, I intend colleagues to come back and ask further questions about this in the days ahead. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.